Yalda, our team in Delhi and of course so many other global news teams across the world couldn't be part of the big protest that happened outside the BBC in London today, but we all wanted to show our solidarity and to mark that dreadful milestone, 100 days in captivity for Peter Greste in Egypt and the others who were taken at the same time as him. So we all hope and pray for a good outcome in their case. Let me take you now to our election coverage from India. It's very striking to see an election process on this scale kick off. But one of the things that I've been hearing from voters already is that their MPs come and see them at election time, or their prospective MPs come and see them at election time, and then they don't hear from them or see them for another 5 years. So there is, for many people, a disillusionment with the political process and with politicians themselves. With me now here in Delhi is someone whose work tries to address that, Jagdeep Chhokar from the Association of Democratic Reforms. Welcome. What is it that your organization tries to do?
Well, we essentially try to improve democracy and governance in the country, and the electoral process is the fundamental of that process. We worked about 13 years ago to get candidates contesting elections to disclose their criminal backgrounds, their financial backgrounds and their educational backgrounds.
Do they do that?
Well, now they do that because the Supreme Court ordered in 2003 that every candidate will have to submit a sworn affidavit as a necessary part of the nomination paper, giving these pieces of information.
And are you satisfied, though, with the information that you get? Is it a complete, credible set of information?
Well, it is credible because if they lie, then they can be prosecuted. These are affidavits given on oath. So it is correct. But whether it is complete or not remains an open issue.
And what are the kinds of things that you have seen or suspected that worry you the most?
Well, people declare if they have any criminal cases pending against them anywhere in the country. They declare how much assets and wealth do they have, how much liabilities do they have. So there are periodic reports, often unconfirmed, that they have not declared their complete wealth, or they hold wealth in some other name, or they don't declare a particular case.
What about their spending? Because there are all sorts of corruption allegations surrounding politicians, and one of them that you often hear is that people essentially try and buy votes at election time.
Well, election expenditure has to be submitted by every candidate after the election is over. They do submit periodic returns during the election, but after the election is over, they have to submit again a sworn affidavit of election expenditure. And there is a widespread feeling and belief that the election expenditure is not declared completely. A fair amount of expenditure seems to happen without being accounted for.
But do you think overall, as you look at the politicians and you look at the way elections are run here, and especially with the level of scrutiny about corruption and the rise of the Aam Aadmi Party, for example, are things getting better?
Oh, certainly, things are getting better. They are much better than they were 15 years ago. But at the same time, we have a long way to go. If we look at democracy in India as compared to democracy in India's neighborhood, in all the countries that became independent in the 40s and the 50s, India perhaps is the only country which has stood as a democracy right through 67 years. So the democracy is alive and well and strong. But no democracy can ever be perfect. And we are working to make Indian democracy as close to perfection as possible. We have a long way to go, but we'll get there.
It is very valuable work. Jagdeep Chhokar, thank you very much for speaking to us on the BBC today. Well, that's just about it from Impact, but our special coverage from BBC World News continues throughout the week. So let me give you a flavour of what we'll have for you tomorrow. We had a profile running of Narendra Modi today. Tomorrow we'll be profiling Rahul Gandhi, the heir apparent to the Congress party, although not technically a prime ministerial candidate in this election. And then later in the week we'll be looking at Arvind Kejriwal of the Aam Aadmi Party. And I'll be speaking to students about the youth vote. Join us again tomorrow.